In this video, I'm going to be ranking every single music disc in Minecraft on a tier list. Also, consider subscribing. It's free and you can always change your mind later. And as always, this tier list has 5 tiers: banger, good, alright, lacking, and RIP eardrums. In my opinion, this disc sounds kinda nice. It's got a country vibe with the banjo section at the beginning and the bells at the end are very unique. This music disc adds some variety to the Minecraft music discs, but it's not as iconic or interesting as some of the others on this list, so we'll give it an alright tier. This music disc can hardly be called music. If you listen to it through your headphones, you might go deaf from the high-pitched bells and ambient sounds. Some music discs have hidden lore nestled deep in their sound, but to my knowledge, Disc 13 is just some random disc that seems to serve little to no purpose. If anyone has Disc 13 as their favorite music disc, then there's a fun test I think you should take. RIP eardrums tier. This is one of the new ones that came out in the 1.21 update and has a very different vibe to the previous ones. It sounds kinda like a steampunk waltz with some electric guitar, so it's definitely a unique listening experience. It's not that bad of a disc, but my boomer ears prefer the classic Minecraft discs a bit more. Maybe as time goes on, I'll change my mind in the next Minecraft music disc tier list, but for now, it's going in the alright tier. This is a very well-rounded music disc. It doesn't try to do anything too fancy like have secret messages hidden in the spectrogram, and it's easy to listen to with just a couple instruments and a steady beat. It's not too overbearing and it's just a solid music disc. I think that Cat deserves a solid banger tier. Relic was added in 1.20 and it starts off pretty strong. It's pretty catchy and slowly adds more instruments and more bass as the song progresses. It's one of the better music discs that has come out recently, and while it's not as good as something like Chirp or Pigstep, it's still fun to listen to, and honestly, I'll put the disc as a good tier. I've heard some people say that this disc is creepy or disturbing, but I disagree with them. Chirp reminds me of 2013 Minecraft back before it was all about having the best mob grinder or trying to speedrun the game as fast as humanly possible. Back when I used to main the Xbox 360 and have fun with friends. Anyways, that was over a decade ago, but Chirp still holds up today. It's probably more nostalgic for me than anything, but it's a pretty interesting listen. The song was sampled from a 1970s keyboard and it makes a great addition to the other OG Minecraft discs. Chirp is an easy banger tier. This is one of the Minecraft lore discs that isn't meant to be listened to as music. It does have this one decent sounding part that goes on for a few seconds, but then the warden starts wardening everywhere and it turns into a cryptic cinematic mess. I get that it has a lot of lore about ancient cities and all that, but I'm ranking these based on how good they sound and how much I like them, so it's going in the lacking tier. I would put it at RIP eardrums, but 13 deserves its own tier. Far is another classic music disc that's enjoyable to listen to. It's a good middle-of-the-road music disc. It's not as much of a banger as some of the others on this list, but it's far from the worst. It kinda sounds like one of the soundtrack songs that plays in the background, but in my opinion, it just doesn't live up to some of the other discs on this list. So I'll give it a respectable alright tier. As the name implies, this disc is the same as Creator, but in a music box style. And I think that it actually works really well as a music disc. It's very unique and it makes sense. It changes the vibe from a steampunk waltz to more of a calming song. This song could be great for adding ambience to different Minecraft builds, and I think that it's pretty good. Good tier. While short, this disc has a great story and a lot of lore behind it. It has some guy coughing and trying to run around in a cave. And I'm no Minecraft expert, but this probably reveals a lot of lore about the storyline of Minecraft. but I don't really care. This is not music, so I can't really give it anything higher than a lacking tier. Mall is honestly pretty calming, and it does sound like something that I would hear play in a shopping mall back when those were still a thing. Mall starts off very ambient and later on has this percussion that comes in and ties it all together very nicely. It's better than a lot of the discs on this tier list, so I'll give it a very high alright tier. This disc reminds me of a Halloween party or old school 2013 Minecraft. It has a lot of personality and some interesting instruments that come in throughout the song. I think that this disc had a lot of thought behind it and it provides more ambience than the others. I don't want to put too many in banger tier, so I'll bump it down to a good tier. Otherside is pretty good for a new music disc, and I think that it paved the way for the new music disc that Mojang keeps adding. I like how Otherside builds gradually and gets better and better as it goes on. It has a modern type vibe to it, but I think that that's actually a good thing because it distinguishes it from the older classic music discs. So I'll give Otherside a banger tier. Stal could really go either way. I've heard people say this is their favorite music disc by far, and I've heard others say that they never want to hear it again. Personally, I think that Stal is pretty good in the beginning with a nice bass section. However, about halfway through, all the 4th graders start blasting their recorders, which brings back a lot of traumatic memories from recorder karate. If you know, you know. RIP eardrums tier. This music disc sounds nice and beachy with the steel drums and calm atmosphere. I feel that Strad is one of the most underrated music discs in Minecraft because I don't really hear people talk about it as much as something like Pigstep or Chirp. I know it might not be everyone's favorite, but I think that Strad deserves at least a good tier. Back when this came out in the 1.16 Nether update, it was very hyped up, and unlike Mojang's other promises, Pigstep actually lived up to the hype. It was the first new music disc since the original ones by C418, and I actually like this one a lot more than any of the other new music discs. It feels like an actual song you would hear in a jukebox, and it definitely fits with the whole Nether theme. Pigstep is an easy banger tier. Wait might just sound like another random music disc, but I think that's actually one of the best OG music discs in Minecraft. It's pretty chill, yet it's still interesting to listen to. It kinda encompasses the Minecraft feeling, and it sounds like it could be a track from the Minecraft soundtrack. It has this rhythmic part at the beginning, but at the end it has a nice ambience before switching back to the original beat. So I think that Wait deserves a solid banger tier. Ward has a decent sound, and it doesn't get too boring. It has a beat switch halfway through, which is a nice touch, and it sounds very retro with its pixelated sound. And at the very end, it has this extra 3rd beat switch which sounds really good. Ward is a good music disc, and its unique sound and good variety is going to put it in the good tier. As of recording this video, this is the most recent disc added to Minecraft, and it sounds okay. I definitely don't like it as much as some of the others on this list, but it's alright. Parts of it kinda remind me of the over-the-top dubstep intros that the cool YouTubers used back in the day. But in my opinion, with this disc, there's just too much going on and it all kinda clashes together, and it's not really my cup of tea. Lacking tier. Thanks for watching, I need to go drink some water. But first, now that you've heard all the different music discs in Minecraft, you should check out when I rank the soundtrack, which has much better songs in my opinion. Please watch, I need gas money.